This is right near the area of the Southern Loop in Shreveport, near Norris Ferry area. So if you are down there, please monitor this. Down there you have Hidden Trace Subdivision, Southern Trace Subdivision. You have Norris Ferry Landing, Norris Ferry Crossing, St. Charles Place, a multitude of different ones there for you. Sorry about this, folks. Family stuff too. They always ask me questions. So in that general area there, stay inside for briefly. Don't go near the windows or anything like that. We don't have anything confirmed, and hopefully it won't be anything, but it's probably going to produce some gusty winds along with it. So you have that there as it moves on up to the north. Then you're going to have areas right around I-49 over towards Linwood that may jump on across and affect areas. It's very similar to other, like south of south of Burt Coons, west of I-49. It's right now on the east side of 49.
Yes.
That's what we have going on there with this particular cell.
And I also want to talk about the warning that's a little bit further north for portions of Caddo and Bossier, just because I feel like we haven't really been focusing on it as much. Still rotation there, likely crossing over the parish border, north and east of Gillum.
Yep, so there it is right there on the screen there with it. So that's another system in the northern part of Caddo Parish that we are dealing with right now. So you have that, and then we have the system up here west of Magnolia, heading up towards Waldo area in Arkansas. And then we have this one here that the Weather Service has continued to issue a tornado warning on, as well as it moves north of the Texarkana area. And it's heading on up towards the Ogden area. So not doing away with that one just yet. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we have
Technically 5.
5.
But one is an extension. The one that includes Southern Caddo Parish is an extension of the one that was east of Stonewall, and I think that will likely expire in 18 minutes, if not sooner.
Okay, I thought I wasn't seeing things. There's a new one issued. They hadn't put it out yet. I'm like, why is there a new weather warning box down here? That's because there was a new warning.
Oh, yeah.
So this one's issued there. Includes Coshada, includes Hall Summit area up towards Ringgold, because obviously there's some type of rotation there, the extreme southern part of it, that they feel the necessity to go and issue the warning down there. So that is one there that we will monitor. So that, again, that's that band that's moving on across.
Mm-hmm. And it's still in that same zone where they just move straight north. It looks like those warning boxes are so vertical.
Yeah.
And they just said it's a train of circulations. And
right.
So that's why they're doing it. Very similar to what we saw when we started this, where they would be the long warning boxes with little embedded cells of circulation and multiple in one warning box, rather than just one area of circulation that we're watching and seeing it trek across the warning. There's multiple. They're not as defined.
Right, okay. Continues warning Caddo and DeSoto. I'm wondering if that is, yeah, that's warnings down there for that. It's a radar confirmed one there. Okay, so anyways, that's what we have going on right now. So again, we have one storm north of Texarkana, another storm on the west side of Magnolia moving up towards Waldo. We have another storm that is situated down there in that's situated down now, looks like in parts of, now I can see circulation a little bit better now. Provençal, there in Natchitoches Parish area, moving on up to the north. And then we also ended up with a storm that's over here. It's very, very tough to see. Let me go and switch it up a little bit.
And that's on the edge of that band.
Yeah, so it's tough to see the rotation. It's probably down. It's probably in the vicinity there in the Southern Loop area of Shreveport, near Southern Loop and I-49, or just east of there. It's probably where that one is situated. And so that's what we have going on. So multiple tornado warnings remain in place for us here in the Arklatex right now. That's why our continuing coverage does stay on now, working on 5.5 hours of it with tornado warnings out for the area, with an unprecedented number of tornado warnings there. Being issued by the National Weather Service in Shreveport, with confirmed tornadoes also for us. Take a look at the map here showing you the warnings that we do have in place, and let you see those for yourself. All the bright red, those are current tornado warnings. Now, a couple of those are for, like, these are probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 different cells that we have there, and the darker reds are flash flood warnings in the region.
Yes. And that's what's really left in the wake after the tornadic activity. Once that ends, you're still dealing with heavy rain at times and the flooding risk.
Okay. And the core tornado part, as far as what we are seeing right now for us here, people are sending me videos trying to see what they are. You can obviously tell somebody sent me a video that looks like good, showing the updraft, the cloud cover. I'm trying to move on up. So, but yeah, we are seeing storms. Cable is still producing tornadoes there near Natchitoches. Good news is we're starting to get this to get out of the area.
Yes.
That's the good news.
There was another one that was issued for portions of Columbia, Hempstead, Lafayette, and Nevada. That was a new warning, likely an extension of another one, but also the tornado debris signature would be southwest of Forbing, heading northwest towards Shreveport Regional.
That would be the one that we were looking at. So I comment on probably on the around Norris Ferry, Southern Loop area.
Yes.
So what they've done is down here, Caroline, they've issued 2 warnings overlapping each other, basically, because of the tornadic threat of seeing these individual cells. They're very small cells. Now, the good news is this is starting to get a little closer. We've got a little ways to go to the eastern part of the Arklatex for us. And so it's really tough to tell what they're looking at here. We'll take a look at a couple of different vantage points with it to see what we might be able to pick up. And it's very tough to pick anything up there because of the proximity to the radar itself. I'm making my guess based upon where the trajectory has been that the rotation is more than likely somewhere in this general vicinity right down here now. And it is moving towards the northwest, towards the airport, towards Mansfield Road area in the south side of Shreveport is what I'm guessing. So we will see how that goes. TDS southwest of Forbing, heading northwest towards Shreveport. Okay, when they say southwest of Forbing, that was the general area there. Forbing area would be there in southeast Shreveport, and south of that is what we were looking at just a second ago.
Okay.
Doing that there. So if you see there, it actually says Forbing right there. So that's the general area, and the storm that's moving over towards it. So anyway, folks, tornado warning issued Columbia, Hempstead, and Lafayette.
Yeah, that one is an extension of the very nasty looking one that has pushed through portions of Columbia County, Claiborne Parish, Webster Parish. Good news is it's no longer a particularly dangerous situation for the warning, but it is still showing circulation. So if you are included in that warning box for Lafayette, Columbia County, as well as Nevada and Hempstead, make sure you're in a safe space and be careful, as this warning is still showing rotation. It's just not necessarily confirmed.
Okay. So we have, is that the cell from earlier? Yeah, it must be the cell there west of Plain D-Link. Looks like we have one there with it. Yep, still got one there, picking it up. And we'll overlay it. There you see it has a tornado warning out on that west of Plain D-Link. And it's moving right on up. It's probably going to be crossing over, or right, it's going to ride right up along probably the Red River is probably what it's going to do. And so it's going to ride up the Red River between Caddo and Bossier parishes that we have. So you have that. Then we also have the storm there. That's Texarkana area that's moving across, getting ready to move across the Red River. There, north of Texarkana, still there in parts of southern parts of Arkansas. We have our storm there west of Magnolia heading up towards Waldo. And then we have the cell that we were just talking about here that's more than likely very, very tough to pick it up because of its location for us, but though it is more than likely going to be a cell. We'll try to take a look at some of this here. Gosh, it's so close to the radar side. It's very, very tough to pick anything up here, but it's more than likely going to end up being a cell here that is situated right around now, Summer Grove area, Shreveport, probably moving on up towards the airport. Okay, so that's what we got going on there. So let's see. I don't think, was there any signatures to that one? Let me see. I can't really pick it up.
Yeah.
I don't think that was it right there at all. So tornado confirmed, Lafayette County, Arkansas. Tornado confirmed in the cell in Columbia County. This is coming from the emergency management, and spotter confirmed it coming in Columbia County.
So that was that one that previously was that particularly dangerous situation warning that had history, and now they're saying it's likely producing a tornado again.
This be the one west of Waldo.
Yes.
That we have there.
So if you're in Columbia County still, if you are in Lafayette County, especially in the northeastern corner, the southwestern corner of Nevada County, and then the southeastern corner of Hempstead County. Make sure you're in your safe space for this tornado warning moving through. Likely a spotter confirmed tornado at this point.
Yes. Okay, so again, recapping everything for you here. What do we have going on with our warnings, folks? We do have one warning out in southwest Arkansas, south central Arkansas. It's west of Waldo, between Waldo and Stamps. This storm does have a history of producing a tornado. Tornado warning is still out as it heads on up towards the northwest, towards the direction of Hope. Not sure yet if it's going to make it to Hope, but that's the general direction. Another storm we have there, it looks like it's west of Ogden, Arkansas, heading up towards Ashdown. This storm has also in the past had a history of producing tornado a little bit earlier on, especially in northwest Louisiana. We do have ourselves another cell that is situated in northwest Louisiana, west of Plain Dealing. It looks like it's moving over now into northern Caddo Parish, that we're having that particular storm there for us to the northeast of Austin. So we have that storm. And then we also have another storm that is situated, very tough to pick up the rotation of it, on the southwest side of Shreveport, likely in the vicinity of the Summer Grove area of Shreveport, heading on over towards the airport. So that's another cell that we will continue to watch for us, but it's very tough to pick up because of the proximity that it has towards the airport. And then we basically have various different cells that are situated there, stretching from maybe Hall Summit down towards Coshada, west of Natchitoches, Louisiana. This is the actual line of thunderstorms. So that's where our storm warnings are at this very moment. So let's go ahead and put on there for you as far as satellite regional loop for us here in the area, and letting you see what is going on. So what I'm going to do, though, is that I'm going to remove some of the stuff on the screen so it's not as messing things up for us here, so that you can see where any of the precip happens to be. So it looks like, Caroline, what we're seeing here right now is, you know, you got I-20 and southward in East Texas. Looks like the worst of it's over with. Mm-hmm. Shreveport, even though it's weird, we got that one cell moving up towards the airport, but Shreveport very soon should be in the clear, I would believe.
Yeah, especially southern Shreveport. It's almost through.
Yeah, and so then we have ourselves that line, though, stretching from near Martin, Louisiana, down to the west of Natchitoches. That area is there still. And we still have the rest of northwest Louisiana and the southern parts of Arkansas.
And then, of course, those warnings down in Natchitoches, they're very thin, and they're associated with that tail is what I keep calling it. It's a good way to define it. As the storm continues to push through, that very thin line, those thin bands, and I'll stand up and I'll show you, as the storm continues to push out and this continues to push east, it'll still be moving through portions of the Arklatex, a little bit of Beanville Parish. Also, if you're on the outer fringes, Lincoln, Jackson, Union, you will have to be weather aware just for the small possibility as it pushes through. But then once this line and then all of this quadrant here gets out of the Arklatex, we should just be left with the flooding concern and heavy, heavy rain at times with what's left of Beryl. Now, as of 4 p.m., it was still a tropical storm, I believe. I believe I saw that update. So that is very strong. They were thinking it was going to weaken more. Every forecast, in fact, was thinking it would weaken more as it approached the Arklatex just to a tropical depression. Obviously, that wasn't the case, especially with how things have played out this afternoon. The tornadoes were always going to be a threat with this, no matter how strong the storm was. It's just we're happening to see a lot of tornadic activity with Beryl, or what's left.
Oh, yeah. We are for sure. You know, still dealing with this storm itself. Hopefully things will try to taper off soon for us, but that is not the case. We're not done with things just yet, just to try to show you real quick as far as where all the warnings are situated for us across the area. Our tornado warnings are all now pretty much on the eastern northeast fringe of the storm. It is starting to lift some for us, which is obviously some very good news. Just to show you, we have 3 different cells there in southern parts of Arkansas, basically maybe extreme northeast Texas, that we have going on. So that's what we are looking at there for us. Let me click this on here, velocity scan, just so we can see the centers of rotation there. One north of Texarkana and moving on across, looks like across the Red River. The other one there to the west of Waldo for us that we are looking at there as well. And let me overlay the the tornado warnings, just so we can see those for us. And then we have one further off to the east. That's pretty much out of the region there for us, north of El Dorado. And then we're going to jump down to the south. We do have one that is moving into northern parts of Caddo Parish, heading towards Ida. It's heading towards Ida up there, so you have that one heading in that general direction for us. And we're going to jump down a little bit further to the south. And we have that cell there that's been in southwest Shreveport, heading towards the airport. It's very tough to find the center of circulation with this one, folks, just because of the proximity that it happens to be there to the airport going on. But it is probably situated somewhere out there near the airport right now. And we have the tornado warning out. We're going to wait and see if they extend that any or not. I think I was getting a text from somebody from South Shreveport area, south of the Southern Loop, asking about being in the clear. I think the worst of it is just about over with for that area as the storm system continues to move. And then we have this one line there. We got some cells there west of Natchitoches. Got a couple of little spin-ups, circulations, I should say there. One northeast of Robeline there along Louisiana Highway 1. For us, and then you have another one there north of there, and then we'll watch to see. Maybe it looks like it could have something there southwest of Coshada. It's tough to tell with these, but these are probably very small little weak spin-ups that we could end up having there associated with this stuff.
Yeah, at least down that far south, there's no signatures that are jumping out. I mean, the ones in Arkansas are still a little bit concerning. At least the one that is moving through portions of Columbia County and onto the border.
539, a confirmed tornado located near Shreveport, moving northwest at 20 miles per hour. They're not giving us much to work on here. We must be talking about this somewhere out here still in West Shreveport.
Like towards the airport, towards the radar itself?
Must be. It says at 539, a confirmed tornado was located near Shreveport, but they're not giving us any location.
It still says radar confirmed, though, as well.
I don't understand why they're putting that on there. So we're not 100% sure. The Weather Service is unfortunately sending in mixed messages.
Could you put up the Mega 3 radar just so we can kind of see what reflectivity looks like in that area?
It's right on the edge of it. I would say if there's anything there, it's probably near Werner Park.
West of it even.
Yeah, right, just west of Werner Park area if there's anything there. It's having to shoot through a bunch of stuff there to get down there to it with it. And this is the Shreveport radar too. I'm thinking it's right there on the east side of the airport.
So if you're in this warning box or any of the warning box, it's still important to take shelter. Now, maybe we can go through and talk about some of the warning boxes and see, we can let people know if they're in the clear, at least as of right now, for a few different locations, because I know there's still a lot of warnings going on.
Real quick here, though, in West Shreveport, in those areas there that we are looking at right now, as far as it's right along I-20, probably north towards I-220. That would be the area right now we're looking at from near the airport area where I-20 and I-220 is, eastward over to maybe I-49, northward up to I-220, the Allendale area up towards Cooper Road. So that's what we're looking at there. Going up a little further north, we do have a cell there. Looks like plain dealing. You're in the. It's tough for me to say in the clear because some of these areas are not in the clear till the main system passes.
For this warning.
For this warning, Benton right now for this warning, you're no longer, you're okay for this particular warning. A new one could be issued. Plain dealing also for us here. You are in the clear right now. We are looking at that over in northern Caddo Parish. We got one heading up towards Ida, moving west of Missionary. So we have that one there. Texarkana, you're in the clear now. It looks like, though, we have a decent cell there southwest of Ashdown, Arkansas. So keep that in mind. It looks like here we have a decent cell still to the northeast of Stamps, to the west of Waldo, moving towards the northwest for us in the area. We have going on for you. And Mark Crawford, somebody's barely sprinkling at the airport. Well, Mark, thanks. Yeah, it looks like a lot of it there is moving away from it now. Shreveport Airport may start to clear up a whole bunch if you're lucky for you there. Let's see here. He's sending me stuff. Let's see what he's sending me. Oh, just sending pictures outside. So he's sending me pictures. It looks like the clouds are trying to lift a little bit, which might be some good news there for us, too. So then we jump down to the south a little bit. I'm not quite sure, Caroline, why this warning box was still out, because that was the storm that moved out of there, I think. But it is still showing up there on the map. Let's see. Cancel tornado warning for DeSoto and Sabine. Weather Service did that. So it looks like we just got that little line of storms there stretching. Natchitoches, be on the alert, Natchitoches. You're technically not in the warning right now, but that could change with a new warning for you, too. So that's how they look. Let's talk a little bit about who is in the clear from tornado threat, period. because I know that's what some people want to know. Who's in the clear for the tornado threat period? To do that, we're going to go, and I'm going to do a few things here. We're going to take off all of the some of the different things here for us. So who's in the clear totally? I would say, Caroline, almost anywhere in East Texas, near and south of I-20. Okay? Get north of I-20, we still technically are not in the clear, but your chances aren't that great.
Yes.
Because of where you're located with the circulation. If you're in northwest Louisiana, from a line from Vivian to Shreveport, down to Coshada and Natchitoches and eastward, you're not in the clear yet. Minden's not in the clear. Spring Hill's not in the clear. Shreveport, you're still not in the clear, but you will be very soon. Vivian, you're not in the clear, but you will be soon. Homer, you're not in the clear. Coshada, you will be soon. Natchitoches, you're not, but hopefully soon for you. And all of southwest Arkansas is not in the clear just yet.
Yeah, you guys, it started a little bit later for Arkansas as the storm continues to trek through. But the fact that we're seeing clearing in a good chunk of our area is very reassuring after the afternoon that we've had. A lot of people have a lot of damage to pick up on, unfortunately, and it'll have to start as soon as things start clearing up.
Okay, folks, we're still watching these storms around the area. Unprecedented number of warnings that we've had issued for us for today. We still have some active warnings that are out there. They're not as active as what we were earlier on, but unfortunately, Beryl has left a mark on the area for sure. Jeff Binefor right now is going to be joining us, and I believe we're going to have some updates to pass along to you related to some of the storm damage stuff.
Yeah, Patrick, you and Caroline have been doing yeoman's work today. We wanted to give you a minute to catch your breath. And this is a look at what appears to be a tornado at Ninnock Farm, just over the bridge, heading towards South Bossier and Coshada. Looks pretty formidable there, foreboding. And at least 2 people have been injured in today's stormy weather. This video came into the KTBS 3 newsroom showing a mobile home flipped by the force of the high winds generated by Tropical Storm Beryl. The 2 elderly people inside were rescued and taken to LSU Ochsner for treatment. No word at this point on their condition. Again, that was a mess. And in DeSoto Parish, Beulah Baptist Church sustained some heavy damage, probably from a tornado. Lula Lane and Nubbin Ridge are closed until roads are cleared of debris. Damage also has been reported on State Highway number 5 near Ward Palmer Road, and that may cause traffic delays. The storm is expected to affect local weather conditions well into the night. And at this point, we'll go back to Patrick Dennis to catch us up on this historical weather day.
It's a very strange day indeed with it. I mean, it's going to go down as one that I know that in one aspect we weren't too concerned about tropical storm force winds. We've had some get upwards of that. But we end up having, wow, the number of tornado warnings have been absolutely crazy for us here in the area for us. Need to get confirmed reports. We need to double check on possible death, but we'll double check on that. Folks, I do not have any confirmation on that, though, as of yet. So what we're looking at for you in the area right now, we are looking at, as far as some storms are concerned, we have 3 warnings out in southern parts of Arkansas, and we can show you that, first of all, by looking at as far as regular reflectivity, which is rainfall. We got that for us, but we get a much better idea a lot of times whenever we look sometimes at the lightning strikes associated with it. It shows just how intense some of the storms happen to go and end up being for us. But also what we like to look at is the velocity scans across the area. And so we are getting some popping up, but we're getting some issues with the radar beam too, so we can't see some of those there. There's one north of Texarkana, one to the northeast now of Stamps. A lot of that should be trying to move on out of the area hopefully soon for us. And then we also have one rotation that is situated there. Let me go ahead and put the warnings on top of it. Where's my warnings? It's weird. I don't see the warnings. Okay, we'll go back to warnings there. I don't know why that's not popping up. I think the radar's trying to tell me that it's once a break for us. Oh, no wonder, because the warnings are not there anymore. So did our warnings get canceled, Caroline?
Some did. There's been a lot of updates recently. I think it'd be good if we just kind of start and go through each one and see how long it's left for, and just kind of organize ourselves and communicate to the viewers what's going on currently, because there is still a lot happening.
Yeah, so they've obviously they let some cancel, they end up canceling, some are running out there over the past couple of minutes. So we have the 3 there up in Arkansas, okay? Those are getting ready for the most part very, very soon of getting out of a majority of our area, but we're not done just yet. We still have to wait and see how they do. I'm hoping as they get further away, some in inland as well, that we might be able to go and lose some of the intensity of some of these storms there with it. We like to look at the velocity scan to get a little bit of an idea of them, so we're getting some better velocity scans in now. We have one up towards Ashdown, Arkansas. Again, we're not done with this just yet, but hopefully soon we will be. We have another one over in areas of southern Arkansas there to the southwest of Willisville, north of Stamps, moving up to the north, and another one there north of Smackover, and that's going to be moving on out. Now, we jump ourselves down to the south here some for us. We do have warnings still, it looks like, to the west around Met Hall Summit area for us, so that does continue. As of right now, it's really tough to pick up where the spin-up happens to be with it, but though they still have one out. And then we have some out a little further down to the south there, over in Natchitoches Parish there to the northwest of Natchitoches. Looks like a little bit of rotation. Other than that, we were able to clean up a lot of the warnings there for us for right now. So things look like they are trying to improve some for us across the area, which is good news. But don't forget, even though I know we've overlooked it a lot, flash flood warnings are in place. Numerous flash flood warnings, I should say. And that's going to continue to be an issue for us as well. This happens to be, these are not, how about it? These may not be totally confirmed.
They haven't been surveyed yet.
They haven't been surveyed yet. And this is an ongoing list. 2 site circulations in Natchitoches Parish. One may clip downtown. They've issued a tornado warning for Natchitoches now. And I will get us camera shots pulled up there in Natchitoches so we can look here in just a moment. But it looks like 6 different possibility of tornadoes that they're going to be surveying damage to.
Yeah.
Natchitoches Parish, looks like that one there near Elm Grove area. Looks like they're crossing over into southern Arkansas, Columbia County. Looks like one there northwest of Marshall, one in northern Shelby County, and one south of the Arklatex that we have. So let's go and see real quick what we have going on right now. Now, this is a live look at Natchitoches where the skies are definitely getting darker down in Natchitoches. And as they made mention of, they are watching storms down in that area that look like they may be able to clip the city for us for down there for right now. The National Weather Service issued that down there for Natchitoches. A storm capable of producing a tornado was located near Natchitoches, moving north at 50 miles per hour. So we're going to go back to this in just a minute, but this is what it looks like for you live on our 3-tower cam down there. And this is what it looks like here as we go on in and take a look at this right now. So see if we're able to pick it up. So it is tough, but it looks like they're just on the west side of town. Well, let me look at the other velocity imagery we got.
Looks like right on 49, or just right west of it.
It almost looks like we have 2 different areas.
Well, they did say that with the tail, that they're small, embedded, multiple.
Yeah. So we have that there with them, and that's just west of town, it looks like. I'm trying to see if there's anything else. What do we have here? Flash flood warnings over in Texas. They've extended flash flood warnings over in Texas. But that's what it looks like from there. This is what it looks like for radar imagery. This is what it looks like with velocity scans for one of them. And I'm thinking we basically have 2 circulations here. Okay? We have one circulation right here coming into town, and we have another circulation up there to the north. So we have 2 different ones there with it. So if you're in Natchitoches proper, Clarence, please, I mean, they're going to move, though, technically to the north. But so if you're Campty, Clarence, Natchitoches, any of those areas there, please be aware of the situation there with it. We'll zoom in for you here, go in tight and show it to you right there. So this is probably it right here, coming on into town, Louisiana 6, Highway 6, getting towards Highway 1 that you have there. So it shows you downtown area. So it's probably going to be very close to it or heading that direction. We'll take a look at a different version of our velocity scan. It's not as obvious on it for you, but it is still there right on the outside of town. And so the velocity, there's 2 different types. There's storm velocity and the other velocity. And sometimes they switch a little bit away from each other. But anyway, that's what you have going on there for right now. I don't see anything new, though, coming up for us. Let's see if the winds are picking up there on our camera shot, too. Give me 1 second here. We'll go back out live right now from the camera. See, the winds are picking up. You can definitely see there in the distance the flags waving. They are waving big time there.
And then the Cane River looks high.
Yeah, it's probably pushing some water down it, or up it, or one direction or the other with it. But yeah, but the winds are blowing for sure there in Natchitoches as that line is moving on through. So good news is that the line's moving through, and they'll get on out of there soon. That's some good news at least.
But we still have those few warnings in effect, both along this tail down towards Natchitoches is what I'll call it, and then up in Arkansas. Those are the two main zones.
It's going to be interesting, too, if we have those up on the northern fringe, if we're going to see anything develop in this batch here in northwest Louisiana, which would be nice if we don't see it.
As it treks eastward.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
that's why if you live in Wynne, Jackson, Lincoln, Union, just be weather aware as it treks eastward, because obviously we're seeing it pop circulation up in Natchitoches along that very thin band that's stretching down and arcing around.
All right. Again, we're looking at velocity scans to give us an idea of the circulations that you're able to see here. And we got a couple of them, one around Natchitoches moving into the southwest side of town, and another one a little bit further up to the north. Powhatan just to the south of it. And these are the main line is moving east. Individual cells are moving on up to the north for us. And we'll jump on up. We'll overlay it with other storms that we have here. And those are our main ones there. The other ones are up in Arkansas, and most of those are very, very soon getting out of the area. We have one that's still up there near Bodcaw up there, and Patmos to the east of it, west of Willisville in Arkansas. And then the other one is up there west of Ashdown, moving to the northwest. Going to be moving, looks like, on the east side of Foreman. So those are what we have there on the eastern fringes, and then we have those on the extreme eastern side of the Arklatex down there, moving into Natchitoches Parish for us. So a very unique situation that we've had here today so far, for sure. So
We've got to be close to 50 warnings at this point.
Tornado
warnings, that
You're
is.
sure that's all?
No, I think there could be more, but based on the last estimate, probably about an hour ago, 42, and there's been numerous more. So we're pushing close to 50 tornado warnings in a span of likely 6 hours for the Arklatex only.
Yeah, this is
Unprecedented.
Yeah, this is something that I've not quite seen like that before with it. So pretty soon, I think my voice is going to be going away also. So anyway, for us, but yeah, we're watching these storms right now, moving into Natchitoches, and then, like I said, the other areas. If we get lucky, maybe we can get rid of some of these warnings, and then we can try to return back to a sense of normalcy for some, but unfortunately not for others whenever it deals with these storms that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, as we head through the rest of this evening and then even into tomorrow, we're likely going to see impacts carry on, whether it's people picking up damage. We have to deal with lingering flooding. Still have that flood watch in effect until tomorrow afternoon because all of this water has to go somewhere. And so, yes, the tornadoes will eventually stop. The tornado warnings will eventually stop, luckily. But again, it's going to be lasting effects from this.
Absolutely. So, folks, I mean, we're on the air right now, too, talking about this. And I know for some of you it seems redundant and that kind of thing. But, I mean, our job is to pass along information to folks about tornado warnings. And unfortunately, sometimes that means we're interrupting your program on there for you. And but we're not going to apologize for that part there, unfortunately, because we have a job to do. I mean, whenever I hear reports of people's houses damaged, the video that I've seen, their lives tossed about and that kind of stuff.
Homes
flipped up and that kind of thing, people asking me to give them a break, get off the air. We're not doing it. It's not me being a smart aleck or anything like that. We're doing our job, and our job is to keep people informed of stuff. And whenever I also hear about somebody that's died because of this, yeah, that's more important for us to help out people than to worry about the programming that's on, because it's called streaming services. You can watch other things too these days for it, and so that's why we're here. We're doing our thing. Let's get back to talking about what's at hand here. We have a new tornado warning that's been issued, and that's why we are here, because we've had constant tornado warnings. It's not, the thing of it is we haven't been repetitive about the same storm because we've had totally new tornado warnings nonstop with it. Talk to Mother Nature about that one for sure.
The count is 56.
56 tornado warnings for us. South of Bradley, Arkansas, we have a storm now moving across now the state line, moving on across. This area got hit earlier, very close to it. Okay? for us there. So that is what we have going on. A new tornado warning has been issued, moving into South Arkansas, across Arkansas Highway 29 and heading on up towards Arkansas Highway 160. Now, this area here, it may not hit the exact area, but we've had confirmed reports of tornadoes in this area already from earlier on today. So that is what it is for us for right now, for you here. So I'm going to read this right here. I just got this confirmed for us. This comes from the Bossier Sheriff's Office Facebook page. I got sent this from somebody. Bossier Sheriff Julian Whittington reports that the Sheriff's Office has received numerous reports of storm damage in our area that deputies and crews are currently working. One storm-related fatality has been reported in Benton area. A resident was killed after a tree fell on her house in northeast Benton. For you, details about the incident are limited at this time. The path of destruction in the southern part of the parish in Elm Grove is still being assessed all the way up to Highway 2 in Plain Dealing. Areas that are heavily affected are Bellevue, Wafer Road areas in Houghton, Linton, Bellevue, Crouch Road area, and the Old Plain Dealing Road in Benton. The sheriff there urges everyone to avoid affected areas so they can be so damage can be further assessed and removed. So again, this storm has turned out now to be deadly for us. One death reported up in the Benton area when a tree fell on a house for you. So
just awful.
It is. So again, storm there, producing rotation there, south of Bradley, Arkansas, moving up to the northeast. We will go and take a look right now and let you see what the storm looks like on various other radar images for us, but we get the best assessment of it looking at the velocity scan that you're able to see this storm moving up to the northeast. I will overlay the severe thunderstorm warning on top of it. So that's what we have there. Another storm getting ready to hopefully move out of the Arklatex that we have going on, and we'll go down to the south for us. We have a storm there in the vicinity of Natchitoches, also Campty, Louisiana, a possible tornado in the area of Campty. Also one now, it looks like it shifted some maybe there north of Natchitoches over towards Clarence, Louisiana. So we have those storms there. We will take you live one more time for you in Natchitoches, where the rain is coming down hard for us for right here, right now. National Weather Service area main concern with evolving tornado threat will be the southeast tier of the area from Natchitoches eastward. That's good for us, but we got to get rid of that one tornado warning, I think, in South Arkansas, and then things will be going down tremendously for us
Yeah, we just
here
have
in the region.
those up north, and then that line that is trailing, and it's almost out of the Arklatex. Almost there. Yes, one just expired, in fact.
Trust us, we want to get off of here as fast as anybody else, because that means that people can go about and not have to worry about anything for the rest of the evening. We are live for you on social media. We are live for you on all of our platforms as well, because this is the most important thing right now for us. A couple of tornado warnings there. You can almost see the hook echoes in them. One up towards Camden, the other one there that you're able to see there north of Louisville, and then we have this other cell that we have now moving into parts of southern Arkansas there that we were just looking at just a moment ago for us. So we'll put it back on velocity scan and let you see that and that's the cell right there that we're noticing there to the southwest of Bradley, Arkansas. Looks like it's basically about to be there in Gin City also.
So Gin City had a storm move through earlier today, west of Gin City,
It was way
in
out,
fact.
yeah, right. It was a little west of it there, but still it's in the ballpark. It's in the ballpark.
Been it's just certain regions today have sort of been hot spots. I mean, we are anticipating all of the Arklatex to have that threat, but within the area, certain parishes have sort of just been hot spots, lack of better term.
Exactly.
And that's what we're seeing still. I mean, Natchitoches Parish, it's been pretty much all day for them because they got hit with that front edge, and then now they're seeing that tail of the storm still bringing more.
Right.
2 pockets of rotation.
Yeah, you got one there north of Campty, Louisiana. Another one there, Hyams, for you, and it's just moving to the west of Clarence. Might not hit Clarence though. That we have the storm situated there. And then, this warning here, for some reason, I don't think this is a warning anymore. It's not dropping off for some reason. I don't know why. But I don't think that's a valid warning anymore.
Okay.
At least I don't think it is.
Let me see.
So, and then we will jump on up. And like I said, we have the storms there.
That one's set to expire in 10 minutes, so I guess they haven't cut it earlier. Unless it's
Okay.
It's been canceled.
Okay. Why don't we do this here real quick so people get an assessment on anything of what's been going on. Like we said, unfortunately, this has turned into a situation today where this has now turned into a deadly event for us, with at least one death being reported due to a tree falling on a house there in Benton, Louisiana, for us there. Hopefully we'll wrap this up soon. We still have ourselves some nasty storms going on down in the Natchitoches Parish area as well for us, and this happens to be a live look for you, what it looks like in Natchitoches. I just want to show folks real quick in the area for you and that we're looking at, and we'll take a look also in Shreveport to see what we have going on there. I just want to show everybody live real quick. And then we're going to go live over to East Texas once again. And that's what it looks like in Shreveport now. That's looking to the northeast where the worst of the weather happens to be. But maybe we're going to start to see some breaks soon if we're real lucky. An area got hit hard today was Panola County over near on the west side of Bethany, Louisiana. And that is where I think we're going to find our Daniel Brown once again for us. He's used to doing sports, but today he's helping us out with storm damage coverage. Daniel, what can you tell us?
Yes, Patrick, the damage is very clear in Panola County, driving up and down Highway 79, just off the border, Bethany, Louisiana, in Panola County. Damage to houses abundant. As you can see behind me, there is a tree on this house. We're going to try and pan over just a little bit. A tree on a house. Nobody at home at the time. There are no cars visible in the driveway or anything, but a house just across the street. There was a family inside there, thankfully okay. I talked to them briefly. I'll go catch up with them after I get done with this report. But earlier in the day on State Line Road here in Panola County, we spoke with one family and a man, Max Arenas, and thankfully his family was okay.
Well, it was like around 2:15 when we started hearing the sound of the rain. It was getting stronger by the second. Next thing you know, we kind of spotted the clouds starting to spin. So we try to take, we saw it when they started to calm down. You can see the back shed of our neighbors.
So thankfully they were okay. Unfortunately, as you reported earlier, Patrick, one confirmed fatality there in Louisiana. Haven't heard anything here in Texas just yet, but obvious damage around the state, around Panola County, somewhere also in Bethany, Louisiana, definitely down trees, damages to houses, down power lines, so people will be without power for a little while. We will catch up with one family. As I said, they were inside their house when a tree fell on it. A man and his wife, was about to go take a shower when the gentleman saw a funnel cloud come in formation. I don't know if it was on the ground yet, tornado, but definitely some rotation. He saw Patrick, and thankfully they are alive and well, but definitely shaken up.
Yeah, indeed. It's been quite a day. 56 tornado warnings so far issued by the National Weather Service, and they issue the warnings to try to give people alerts and at least a little head start. The damage might be done, but the most important part is about protecting life. And I know, unfortunately, we have one fatality to report to you there in Bossier Parish from the storm that hit there near Benton, Louisiana. Let's talk a little bit about our power outage situation here. And this is only for SWEPCO customers, so there's no doubt more people without power. But in the SWEPCO area, there's more than 43,000 people without power because of these storms. And folks, it's very much understandable there with it. Be patient with them for their crews to get out there and get things taken care of safely, because they also have families they want to get home to. So they will take care of things as fast as possible. Our own Sydney has been out there about as well. Let's go and check in. I believe she has a report filed with us on what she has been out there checking out.
I'm here at Beulah Baptist Church, which is right outside of Mansfield in DeSoto Parish. You can actually see the main church building where the steeple was on top of the building has been completely ripped off. It was actually thrown about a quarter mile down the road and landed in a pasture. Now we'll take a look at the old church where it has been completely destroyed. Debris is everywhere. We also learned that the Life Center that was built about 2 years ago is also completely destroyed. So a brand new building is gone. There's insulation thrown all over the place. There's metal wrapped in the trees. We also heard that a piece of the church landed in the window of the house across the street. So it is completely devastating here in the Mansfield area. And we'll keep you updated as the storms move out of the area. In DeSoto Parish, Sydney Lane, KTBS 3 News.
Okay, thank you so much there, Sydney. I mean, what a day that we have had so far for us here. 43,000, more than that, SWEPCO customers without power. There are other ones around. I'm seeing that there might have been some damage of around maybe Southern Trace area. Nothing major. I've just got a picture via Facebook post from the neighborhood down there that shows some, looks like some damage to some fences maybe. If that's all you got, consider yourself lucky. That area there did have a storm just move through there a little while ago for it. So we do have active warnings that are in place. We hope that maybe soon we will get these canceled and then we can get off your airwaves and, you know, you can go about your business as best as possible. Unfortunately, some folks are going to be in the dark for us here. And my wife's asked me, are we done yet for you? So I'll have a chance to text her back here coming up in just a few moments. But let's go ahead and bring everybody up to date on what is going on for us. With it, we do have that cell that's there in parts of southwest Arkansas that there is a tornado warning out on. It's west of Bradley. It's in the Gin City area, probably just to the, it's probably near Gin City or so. So we have that one there for us. We also have other storms. They still got one there southeast of Hope, Arkansas, moving on up to the north towards Prescott area. So we'll still monitor that one for a little bit. And then we have the only other one we got right now is right on the southern edge of the Arklatex, heading over towards Goldana. We have one there near in the east of Fairview Alpha, west of Creston. We also have one there north of Campty. Okay, so that is what we have going on with those particular cells. And that's probably going to be our main area of focus and what we're going to be looking at here for the short term. But things wrap up. We'll try to wrap it up ourselves, but that's what we're going to continue to watch.
Yeah, it's up to Mother Nature when these things stop circulating and showing up on these velocity scans. Now, I want to kind of share something that I found very interesting. You might as well. The center part of Beryl is closing in on the I-20 corridor in East Texas. Now, that sounds scarier than it is. Realistically, what it means is pressure starting to drop outside. Those areas that are seeing the center, that's a good thing. Things are calming down in terms of tornadic activity. The rain is lightening up where they're getting some clearing. But of course, there's still portions of the Arklatex dealing with the tornadic risk. There's heavy, heavy rain still falling across a vast portion of the Arklatex as well, which means once the tornado threat stops, we still have to deal with flash flooding. If you're still at work or out and about, you haven't had a chance to go home because you've been sheltering. Now you have to sort of deal with the obstacle of possibly coming upon flooded roadways. Those giant dark red boxes, those are flash flood warnings, and they're still in effect for places that aren't receiving any rain anymore. That's because they got a lot of rain in a short amount of time.
Yeah, and again, the center of circulation there approaching, like I said, the I-20 corridor area. That's why it's pushing the rain on up to the north. So that basically means the worst of the severe weather threat, tornadic threat is concerned for us. So we are looking at this stuff that is situated over here, per se, across areas of southern Arkansas. This is still where we have some still tornadic threat going on, and then we have some others on the eastern side of it further south. But things are improving for Shreveport, Bossier City. They're really improving for all of northeast Texas. A lot of northeast Texas, I'd say your tornado threat is a lot lower than what it is in Louisiana and southern Arkansas, but we are not completely done with it just yet. We can't rule it out, but you still have a heavy rainfall threat. The other thing, too, is you might see your winds lighten up a little bit when that center moves near you, but then they're going to pick back up on the back side of it that we have there with it. So anyway, that's what we have going on there for us for right now. Let me double check and make sure the Weather Service doesn't have anything else new to report. Oh, that's why you were making a comment about that. That's what the Weather Service did.
Yeah, it's very interesting, at least meteorologically, to see the pressure start dropping. I know a lot of our weather watchers will likely comment on that because that's what happens with tropical systems. Very strong hurricanes have very low pressure in the center. Now, for us, we're not receiving a very strong hurricane. We're receiving remnants of Beryl, which likely is still tropical storm strength. I actually need to check and see what Beryl's rated as at this point.
I'm refreshing it right now. 4 p.m. So the 4 p.m. outlook, tropical storm.
Okay, yeah.
For right here, right now.
We were anticipating a tropical depression to move through, which is even weaker than a tropical storm. was going to bring the impacts of heavy rain, was still going to bring the tornado threat. We really tried to communicate that yesterday and even the day before, saying that this is a very big possibility. Now, I'll be transparent. Patrick will probably agree with me. How many warnings we've seen and how much tornadic activity we've received today is unprecedented. And Beryl's been an unprecedented storm since it formed, but it's just crazy to see it in effect. And if you've been tuned in since we started, I mean, the fact that we had as many tornado warnings going on as we did, and the fact that we're seeing the damage that we're seeing across the Arklatex, it's just mind-boggling in a way. Now, I kind of want to do some housekeeping again. We'll clean things up and just sort of break it down step by step, warning by warning, because there is a lot going on. So those dark red boxes, those are flash flood warnings. We'll likely see those persist for a few more hours. Now, that yellow shading, that was a tornado watch for all of the Arklatex. That will likely be canceled and trimmed off. Counties and parishes will be trimmed off as we see Beryl continue to push through the Arklatex. For the current tornado warnings, this is why we are cutting into your programming. This is why we've been on air for hours. There's still a few of them going on. Now, this one is in Natchitoches Parish, and in fact, I'm just going to try and keep things clean and keep them organized. The rotation would likely be north of Campty. So we'll freeze that. We'll put up the velocity so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Rotate, 2 zones of rotation with this one. I was going to get to the northern one after I talked about this. But here's the first one, north of Campty. The second one is south of Ashland. So if you live in Ashland, make sure you get into a safe space, just because there is circulation, not necessarily a confirmed tornado, heading your way. Now, we shift north. We head further into northwest Louisiana. Let's check that out, because there's a slew of warnings up here. We'll punch those up first. Here we go. Taking over a vast majority of Bossier Parish, northern Bossier Parish for that matter, and then stretching into Miller County, Arkansas. And then we have a few other counties like Lafayette, Columbia, even included in different warnings. So let's start one by one. The one that is including portions of Bossier Parish only, that one's likely going to expire in 30 minutes or less. And let's see, radar indicated a rotation. Locations impacted include Plain Dealing, Ivan, Rocky Mount, and Bollinger. Don't get mad if I butcher that. There are a lot of crazy named places in the Arklatex, and I'm just working on pronunciation. So that's that one warning. Let's show the velocity signature to see kind of where it's at. Likely north and west of Plain Dealing at this point. This is where I would say it is. We could also maybe even classify that. Good thing is the fact that it's a struggle to find where the velocity signature is means that it's likely weakening. If it's not jumping out at you, at least that's what it means. Now we'll switch back to the warnings. We'll cycle up. It stretches into Arkansas, into portions of Miller and a little bit of Lafayette County. Let's switch back on the velocity to show you guys the rotation. Here we go. It'd be right here, right on the border of Miller and Lafayette counties. Not the tightest rotation we've seen at all in the grand scheme of today, but it's still rotation and it's still tornado warning. So if you are included in that warning box, which I will put right back up, it stretches from northern Bossier Parish through Lafayette County, through Miller County. Make sure you stay in your safe space. And then if you're in Fouke, if you're not included in this warning box, just be weather aware, because you're technically next on the list if they were to extend this warning. Let me make sure we don't have any more updates. Nothing as of yet. Okay. Continuing through, this one over here, a little bit eastward. This warning is in effect for about 41 more minutes for portions of Columbia and Lafayette County. Now we'll switch on the velocity signature. A little more defined with this one here. So if you live west of Emerson, we're going to zoom way in on it, Walkerville, it's likely right over you. You need to be in a safe space. This is broad rotation, not anything confirmed, but it's rotating right over Walkerville or just west of Walkerville. And it's likely heading towards the eastern edge of Rocky Mount if it holds together. Next, Hunt, Arkansas, also you would be on deck with this warning. And then we'll clean it up. We'll make sure we got all of them. Yes. Okay, so it's just those ones. The one in Natchitoches was trimmed a little bit. That's reassuring. Let's head back down. Dark red is the flash flood. The bright red is the tornado warning. Here's a look at the velocity signature. It would be just northwest of Creston. And here's what that looks like. This is the velocity signature, not the tightest scan, but it's there. Now we just got an update that a tornado warning is likely coming for Ruston and Grambling. The velocity signature I see would be north of Quitman. Is that a fair assessment? Sorry, Patrick's mic is off. It would be west of Ansley.
Right. So, I mean, I'm actually looking at different radar perspectives here on the iPad also with it, but it'd be that one right there with it. It's just north of Quitman, and yeah, again, it'd probably be moving on up towards the northeast a little bit, probably more so towards the north some, and it'd probably be areas, like I said, again, affecting areas there with it. If it's just north, can you zoom out just a little bit so we can see a little bit more for us here? And yeah, Ruston and Grambling area. Grambling's right over here, so this is the cell that we'll be watching for to see as it goes and ends up having a chance to move on up. So we got that cell there, and like I said, I mean, the other on the cells that we have that's really in the area, we have the couple of cells that are further back off to the west that we have there. The one that looks like is north of Bradley for us, Arkansas, and then you have another one situated over there that is to the west of Magnolia. So we have two of them there where you have some rotation in those particular storms a little bit further on off to the west there for us. So you got one near Bradley and the storms over here. Yep, there we go right there. So you have this one right here. Go over there to Falk area, and then you have this other one over. So we actually have two different cells here. So you have this one here. Now, Caroline, they issued another warning down here to the south. That's there in northern Louisiana, Bossier Parish area.
That has been in effect for a little bit. It's been kind of confusing. I think that one should be set to expire very soon.
Gotcha there. Gotcha. So that's what we have here. So we have these. We have these here. Now this one over here with it. It does have. Zoom out here and click on the National Weather Service radar right there. I'm just curious. See that little hook? It has a nice little hook echo associated with this one. That's up there west of Emerson, Arkansas. Now this is moving towards the northwest a little bit here, so it's going to move right on the west side of Magnolia, and it may eventually move on in to the Magnolia, Arkansas area. And then again, we have the other one further off to the west over here, and you're able to see a little bit of a notch there with it that you have there, and it's making its way on up towards the north, and there it is right there. You're able to see it there. So we have those storms there, and like I said, we have the storm that they say they're going to be issuing the warning on over in areas of around Ruston. Matter of fact, they do have that warning now issued for Ruston. That's situated over there, and it has now been issued there for the storm to make its way on up towards the north. So you have that particular cell also moving there. So we have a new tornado warning out that we alluded to a moment ago. It's for Ruston, Louisiana, and it's for a storm situated there just north of Quitman there, and that's the cell.
Oh, here we go. Sorry,
so right down there. That's it right here, and the warning area goes on up towards the north some. So the cell's going to be making its way towards the general vicinity of Ruston and Grambling. So those are the two cells that we have. And then if we go a little further to the south, pretty soon for us, we're going to be out of our warnings on the southern areas. We still got a little bit of time to go, though, because this area here still, and so we have that one cell that's south of Ashland. It'll be right here, this little rotation area right there where the warning there that you just see. And go to reflectivity on the National Weather Service radar for us. And you got that in there. You can end up seeing the cell also there that we have going on. So we still have a handful of tornado warnings left, so we're not out of the woods just yet for many areas of the Arklatex. And that's what we're going to continue to monitor to see what's happening as we work our way on into the rest of, I'm about to say this afternoon, but it's now the evening hours for us here in the Arklatex.
Yeah, at this point, but we'll cycle through this and we'll show you what Beryl looks to be doing. We'll actually just stop it. Here we go. You can see we rewind it and cycle through. The bulk of the activity, the heaviest rain, that band of tornadoes is what I'm honestly going to call it, because that's what it was doing down towards Natchitoches. It's kind of calmed down a little bit. It's pushing further and further out of the Arklatex. It's honestly kind of just like we're sitting and watching and waiting to see if more tornado warnings pop up, if we see more circulation, and then when things continue to push out of the area.
Yeah, and so hopefully, again, we are starting to see a lot of stuff wrap up for us there across the region for us, and that's some good news there. Shreveport tornado threat, I can almost say we're okay. I think Shreveport's okay. I think personally, all of East Texas is okay for the severe weather tornadic threat. Still could have the flooding issues there in Northeast Texas for sure. I think the best chance for tornadoes in the Arklatex area is going to be Southwest Arkansas still on over towards Ruston. And then maybe south towards, well, actually, I think Natchitoches is out of the woods. I think you're okay now. So I think things there have drastically improved for us. So we are slowly but surely improving across the area for us. And that is some very, very good news indeed as far as what we're seeing for right now. So like I said, we had the tornado warning issued over there for the Ruston and Grambling area there for that cell. That is moving on through, and it's going to continue to move on through from the south to the north. I'm trying to take a look here, something off, not looking at the regular one. But yeah, it's going to make its way on up there, probably to the west side of Ruston. And probably, to be honest with you, I think it's heading right towards Grambling. Right towards Grambling is where it's headed at.
Could you check out the storm in Columbia, Arkansas? Because I think it has the most defined rotation at this point. And I just want to let people who are in that path just kind of be aware. Nothing confirmed, but it's tight rotation.
Very similar area to where the storm went through a little earlier on. Very similar.
And this is what we're talking about here, about to go over 160.
Yep.
West of Emerson and east of Walker Creek.
Mm-hmm. So very similar area whenever we looked at things from the storms from earlier on that it moved on across. And then we have one over here to the east of Falk that we have there moving across Arkansas Highway 134 east of Boggy. So you have that one there going on. And then National Weather Service says they're going to probably let this one run out and expire or something at about 5:30. That's a little further south of Ashland. I think that's the one they're talking about. So we'll see if that actually turns out to be the case or not. And then we hope maybe we'll see some more of these die down a little bit, which would definitely for sure be nice for us because we are getting there on the eastern fringe of the Arklatex and some of these storms as far as what we're seeing so far. And so National Weather Service cancels warning for Bossier and Lafayette. So, okay, so that means that the one that was down there a moment ago is now gone. So we just have this one little part of the cell up here to the north, east of Falk. We'll see. They may end up reissuing a new warning, though, unfortunately.
Just housekeeping.
So we'll watch and see what happens with that and other storms to the southwest there of Magnolia, Arkansas, for us. But that's what's going on for us as far as the very latest. We're hopefully, like I said, if we get lucky, wrap up some of this stuff soon. But that's why we're still on the air because we have active tornado warnings. It's been, unfortunately, a deadly day with tornadoes. At least one confirmed death in Bossier Parish because of a storm there around Benton. A tree fell on a house. A lady was killed. We don't have any other information. But they're over in Bossier Parish. I'm sure a lot of parishes are asking you to stay off the roads. They want to assess the situation as far as the damage is concerned for us. So a quick turn around the area, just showing you what we have going on. And yes, we know we are repeating ourselves over and over again. But again, these are the tornado warnings that are out there. And we are trying to pass along the information to you. And we'll be repetitive with it. And that's what we're doing. So east of Falk, we have one cell there. Moving to the north, we're waiting to see if we get a new warning issued for it. It's probably going to be moving through areas of between Garland and Texarkana. Another cell for you there as well. For us here in the Arklatex across the area we're looking at there. Oh, okay. So that's what we got going on there. And we'll look down to the south super fast for you. Don't forget that tornado warning over around Ruston and Grambling. And we are watching to see that cell there making its way right towards Grambling. So Grambling area there, the community, the college, university, please beware of this storm getting ready to move on in. So that's how things are currently looking for us. I'll wrap it up here with a quick perspective on the radar loop and let you see that, showing you things trying to improve. But again, remember, flooding is still going to be a problem for us. But that's what's going on for you for right now. We will check in to see any probably storm-related news and what we have going on over there with Jeff.
All right, thank you, Patrick. We'll be coming back to you in just a few minutes. But you heard Patrick and Caroline allude to this just a few minutes ago in Bossier. One person has died from the storms in the Benton area. The sheriff's office says that a woman was killed when a tree fell on her home in northeast Benton. They've also received several reports of storm damage. The path of destruction began in the southern part of the parish in Elm Grove. It's still being assessed all the way up to the Highway 2 area in Plain Dealing. Areas heavily affected include the Bellevue Wafer Road areas in Houghton and the Linton Bellevue Crouch Road area and Old Plain Dealing Road area in Benton as well. And elsewhere, at least 2 people were injured in today's stormy weather. This video shows a mobile home on Horton Road in Caddo Parish. It was flipped, as you can see, by the force of the high winds. Wow, that is not a pretty sight. The winds were generated by Tropical Storm Beryl, of course. The 2 elderly folks inside that home, though, were rescued, something to be thankful for. They were taken to LSU Oshner for treatment. No word at this point on their condition, so keep your fingers crossed for them. And in DeSoto Parish, Beulah Baptist Church sustained heavy damage, probably from a tornado. You saw our Sidney Lane report from there just a few minutes ago. Lula Lane and Nubbin Ridge are closed until roads are cleared of debris. Damage also has been reported on State Highway 5 near Ward Palmer Road. That'll be causing traffic delays. The storm is expected to affect local weather conditions well into this night. And I think now we're going to go, are we going back to Patrick at this point? No, we'll move on here. Residents are preparing for the possibility of damaging winds and flooding overnight in the Texarkana area. While first responders have been loading up their emergency trucks with rescue equipment, they are urging people, if possible, to stay off the roads.
We have a lot of flash flooding in our area, but people still seem to not heed the warning of not going through standing water. If you see standing water, find a detour, go another way, do something but go through the water.
We want everybody to turn around, don't drown. Pretty easy. If you see a flooded road, don't take that chance.
Yeah, just use some common sense, please. Right now, more than 2.7 million customers are without power in the entire state of Texas. The chairman of the Public Utility Commission of Texas says it'll take days, several days, to restore power to those millions who are in the dark. And here's a look at the power outages in the Arklatex. Right now, SWEPCO reporting more than 39,000 customers, SWEPCO customers without power. The bulk of those outages are in northwest Louisiana. And let's send it back to our chief meteorologist, Patrick Dennis. Patrick, it's been quite an historic day.
Look, words can't really describe it the way that this has been for today, Jeff. We didn't think we were going to have issues with winds per se directly from the tropical system, and we really haven't. The winds have been associated with the tornadoes that we've had, which has just been unbelievable, the number of them that we've had. I know we've been counting them up. I see people posting stuff on Facebook about it because Caroline made mention of it also there with it. But it says 56, but it's 56 and counting.
Yeah, it's more now.
There's more now with it. Just an unbelievable day that we have going on. And that's why we're here doing what we do, is because we want to try our best to convey information to people there with it on a variety of platforms, including KTBS, KPXJ, 24-hour news channel, weather channel, and our social media platforms as well, where we've been live on those throughout the day today. I'm hoping we can wrap it up on some of this stuff by 7 p.m. and turn you to some regular programming, so maybe you have a chance to watch something tonight if you're in an area that did not experience damage. Unfortunately, some folks won't be able to because of all the power outages and the damage that was caused. So what is going on right now? Where do we have active warnings in place? Let's bring you up to speed. We asked a one little bitty one that they're not going, I guess, and doing anything with this one here. I would have figured by now Carolina would have gone and issued a new one because it's pretty much moved out of there.
Here, if anything.
Yeah, that's it. That's just to the east of Falk, Arkansas. Not much going on there. Still an impressive little system over here to the west of Magnolia, Arkansas, moving north. So if you're in the area towards Stamps, and I think I've said Stamps and Waldo multiple times today due to other storms in the same exact area. So you have that particular one there. And then we go down to areas of around Grambling. It looks like we have a cell right now making its way there. You have Ruston, you have Grambling. Now, Simsbury's there. Now, Grambling is here, but there it goes, pops up when I zoom in a little bit more. So it's right on the west side of Grambling, moving to the north. So, again, there's a center of circulation with that particular cell, and we'll take a look at as far as the cell itself. You can see it there with it. So the Weather Service did cancel that tornado warning there for Miller County. I think that's the one we were looking at earlier and says, why hasn't this been canceled yet? Yes, that is canceled.
So just 3 warnings, 2 technically only in our area.
Yeah. Everything else, folks, at this moment, we don't have a whole lot going on here. So I say it that way. We're going to continue because we're actually in our normal news time here for us. But we're not going to go anywhere just yet. But to tell Mr. Bindfor or whatever and them just to be on standby just in case for it there, because you've been on standby standing over there most of the afternoon. Anyway, but we have two different storms that still have warnings out on them. One is there west of Magnolia that we are watching there for us, and we will see what happens with that, moving up towards Stamps and Waldo. And the other one is over in areas there near Grambling there that we have one. We have another one too, Caroline, I just noticed here, but it's outside of a warning area. It's actually Aycock in Sugar Creek area, southeast of Homer for us, and it actually looks like a little cell there near Homer, Louisiana. But let's see if there's actually any rainfall there. Yeah, there's still rain in both those places. I'm going to be...
That cell near Homer has been sort of circulating for the past few checks I've been looking at it. They haven't warned it yet, but it looks very similar, and they just said their new warning that is coming, covering the circulations in Homer,
there we go,
northwest of Sugar Creek. So,
well, I just pointed those out, so that's what we got. So we're going to wait for those. So we are not done with warnings just yet. We simply are not done with the warnings.
And in fact, they put out a convective discussion, if you want to read it, for Arkansas, just to talk about the environment and how it will still be conducive for tornadic activity for a little bit longer. That's what we've been talking about. I mean, in the proximity of where it's located to Beryl's center, it makes sense why we are seeing that. We should see that new warning, though, pop up very, very soon. That does include portions of the Arklatex just north of Homer and then just northwest of Sugar Creek.
Right, and so we're waiting for those there to come up. So we are not done with the warnings just yet. They will continue, and they will likely continue now until after our normal new scheduled time there for us. So just to make that clear because of what we are dealing with right now. It's one storm there north of Homer and another one there, Sugar Creek, and so we should be seeing it pop up on our map here at any moment. Probably if I went and click that back on there, there it is, right there, right now. So they actually issued one tornado warning for two storms.
Very similar to what was happening earlier. It's just a little bit broader of a scale, where it's just kind of covering all bases, this right here and then this one there. If it's behaving the same way and is tracking the same direction, I understand why they did that.
Yep. Yeah, I do. They're covering, I mean, and they could probably easily shift there with it. But one right on top of Homer right now. I know a lot of folks there in Homer, and it looks like it's right on the north edge of the town area there, moving on up to the north. And so then we have the other one there I made mention of down near Sugar Creek right down there for you. And it's in the Aycock area too, and that's moving on up to the north. So we have three cells seen right there within a short distance of each other, Caroline. And so that's all three right in the same general area.
Do you want to put up a view, just a broad view of the radar so we can see its proximity to what Beryl is doing? And it makes sense why these circulations are spinning in that area. It's on the outer band on that dirty side that we have been seeing just continually to produce tornadic activity. And it just makes sense that they're all sort of in a line along that band. You can kind of see, you can just count it, boop, 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 all in that same vicinity, just different warnings for different, very small, but still circulating storms.
Yeah, so that's our main area right there, I think, as far as a tornado threat. The good news is it's going to get out of the Arklatex very soon, but they're not out of the Arklatex just yet. I think that we will be dealing with tornado warnings, technically what we call our viewing area, for the next 30 minutes at a minimum to 45 minutes or an hour, I think, at a maximum, based on what I'm seeing right now for us. And so that's what we are dealing with now. We have crews out on the scene there with it. They themselves are assessing the damage that we have seen from this amazing, unprecedented, crazy number of tornado warnings that we have seen here today here in the Arklatex, and that we are continuing to see as well. So again, like I said, we have three different storms we're watching right now. One is west of Magnolia, Arkansas. The other one is there on the north side of Homer. Another one is there right near Aycock, north of Sugar Creek. and another one that's made its way through Grambling and that area there near Simsboro, moving on up to the north. So that's right there on the edge of the area. Other than that, we don't have any other warnings in place. So again, that very soon they'll be getting ready to move out of our viewing area, which would be some very, very good news. But again, don't forget about all the rain that we've had out there too, creating problems and issues for folks, because that has not been a good thing either for us. And those are the latest warnings you're able to see there on the screen.
And someone had asked me, what does the purple mean when we show velocity? Sometimes you see little patches of purple on there.
Right.
It's range folding. It's nothing to be concerned about. We will point out the circulation in little pockets of rotating clouds that you need to be scared about. The purple colors, it's just more of like a data issue more than anything, if that helps kind of ease any anxiety if anyone else was wondering that.
Yeah. Well, it's a crazy day. Like I said, we probably are approaching or greater than 60 warnings right now. I don't have the exact number, tornado warnings for the Arklatex area issued by the National Weather Service office in Shreveport. We have 4 different cells right now we're watching. Now, we'll say we have 3 tornado warnings, but 4 different cells, because one tornado warning is covering 2 of the cells there with it. We have a tornado warning that's been issued here for areas of southwest Arkansas for this particular cell that's right here near Magnolia. This is what it looks like if you're looking at reflectivity imagery there for you. But if you put a velocity scan, you definitely see the rotation there to the west of Magnolia, Arkansas. It is moving on up to the north as well, moving up towards the northwest, heading in the direction between Stamps and Waldo. So you have that one there. You scoot on down to the south. We have another one there north of Homer, Louisiana. And again, it is moving on up to the north away from Homer. It's almost moving due north in a way, considering where it just was a moment ago. So that one is there. And then you have another one near Aycock, southwest of Lisbon, Louisiana. That one there is also moving to the north. And then we have another one over there down to the southeast. It has made its way through Grambling area, Simsboro area, and is moving on up to the north also. So crazy storms there in those regions. So 4 different cells, 3 different tornado warnings that we are seeing with this. And I don't have any other tornado warnings right now. So I'm trying to be hopeful and optimistic that we can go and not have to worry about this too much longer. But we have a little bit of more time left. We're not done with this just yet, with, again, probably 60+ tornado warnings for today in our area. At least 1 fatality to report to you in Bossier Parish. And, countless amounts of damage that we have seen due to these storms.
And
so
I found something interesting. If you scroll up just north of the Arklatex, just north of Camden, Arkansas, now we see a severe thunderstorm warning. That's actually the first severe thunderstorm warning I recall seeing for the last 6 or 7 hours.
It may be the case there too. That's also a different office as well. That's Little Rock. So they may be changing that one there too. You just never know there with it. Brian was just sending me a text or whatever saying about it thinks the center is moving over of circulation. And it probably is. As a matter of fact, as
it's very far north at this point.
Yeah, it's so, because I'm look here, I'm looking at a surface analysis map just to get a little bit of an idea there with it. And those are a little bit slow considering the speed of pace here, though. But I mean, it probably is, because if we're going to look at a radar image with it and look at the loop there, you get the edge of that. Well, obviously there, it's probably moving over Shreveport right now. There, but it's not like an eye of a storm that you're going to have up in here. The clouds are probably going to lift a little bit with it. Now, sometimes after it moves on through, we get rain on the backside of it. That's yet to be seen if we're going to see too much of that.
And we wouldn't be concerned with any tornadic activity once it wraps around. It would be rain, which does concern more flooding problems, but it wouldn't be anything like what we dealt with for the past few hours.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, this past few hours has been crazy with it. And I know folks are out there trying to clean up damage. I know some folks are getting out there to help others clean up the damage, but please be careful if you are doing just that. We are looking right now, like you said, at storms in Homer, Louisiana, north of Homer, north of the Ruston Grambling area, and those are going to continue to move on up to the north as the system lifts up even more so and tries to move on out. We'll take a look for you here right now and take a look. Sorry, put on the debris one. Show you where the centers of circulation are with one storm that we are seeing making its way now to the southeast of Stamps, southwest of Waldo, Arkansas. For you. And then we have another one a little further to the south there, north of Homer, Louisiana. Moving on up to north, looks like it's going to pass just to the east side of Haynesville. Another one, ACOC, I believe it is, for us there southwest of Lisbon. I mean, these are moving fast. And then another one there north of Grambling, and that's moving on up to the north. So those are our 4 main circulations that we are seeing right now here in areas of the Arklatex, and this is how it looks like here, taking a look at reflectivity, the radar imagery there that we're seeing right now in the area. No new updates from the National Weather Service as of yet. I'm sure they are hoping, just like everybody else, that we can wrap up these warnings for you, because now we've had active warnings nonstop for almost 7 hours now, which is I've never had to deal with this quite like this before. We thought we'd have some tornado warnings. I never imagined that, it'd be quite this many number of tornado warnings, and that is why we are here continuing to keep you up to date on what is going on overall for us. So again, like we said, we have three warnings left, 4 different cells that we are looking for. Let's just show you real fast here too. What does it look like outside? This is a live look for you coming in from Natchitoches, Louisiana, where things are definitely improving there. Still a little bit breezy for you, but it does look like things have improved there. The Texarkana area, you're still seeing some rain. Rain is still coming down pretty decently up in Texarkana. You're not done with the rain in Texarkana just yet. Look live for you in Logansport, just a blanket of clouds around for right now. Center of circulation is up in that area for you, and in Shreveport as well. As we look to the north, still just seeing some overcast skies now. Majority of the rain looks to be over with for us, which is some very good news. But again, our continuing coverage does continue because we still have ourselves in the area seeing as far as what we have going on there. There we are. We got them back. Not really sure why that went to dark. It's probably tired is why you probably lost weather graphics for us. But we're still in the air because we still have active warnings that are out in place. They issued, Caroline, it looks like they must have either canceled or it was no longer valid for the storm there over in Lincoln Parish. That one baffles me. What time was that valid?
No, I think it's the same one.
627. Was it supposed to be, though? It was valid. 6:45. Oh, no, it expired.
Oh, okay.
It did expire. They expired that one. So we're going to watch these other 2. Hopefully they'll expire for us. It'd be nice to see some significant weakening with them as well for us here in the area. So we will see what goes on for us. What we may do, too, we're going to watch these to see for us. I'm assuming, and a producer, somebody can tell me in my ear, if we wrapped up a little bit, are y'all going to do follow-up stuff on actual storm damage stuff with it? Because we'll try to leave a little bit of time with it here for you all to be able to do some of that too, so we can get it in the news hour. So just let me know if y'all have storm damage stuff you're going to try to end up doing, because we want to stay with our actual storm stuff because we do have some active warnings. But in just a moment, if you do have some follow-ups to some of them for us. Outages now, 46,000 I'm being told. Again, those are SWEPCO outages. There will no doubt be more of them here in our area that may not be SWEPCO customers for it. So that's what we have going on for us for now with our power outage situation there. Let me take a look here real quick. See what else we have going on. We have a storm there over east of Magnolia between Stamps and Waldo. And then we have the one there east of Haynesville and also to the west of Lisbon. And but they canceled the warning would expire, but there is a decent circulation on the west side of Dubach as well, north of Ruston. So again, these are right on the fringe area as far as us dealing with the storms here in our area for us. And I'm trying. The Weather Service has not put out anything new for us for right now. So we are continuing to monitor the situation as far as what we have going on for us here locally in the Arklatex. Jeff. Do y'all have storm stuff, or what do y'all have, or what do you know?
Haven't been informed of anything yet, Patrick.
So if y'all guys tell me this so we know how to set this up, that'd be great. I'm gonna let you guys have some of this back. Excuse me, talk to me real quick. I'm not hearing anybody.
Well, I mean, we can just talk a little bit. You talked about the historic nature of this day. I mean, when this day began, did you have any idea you'd be looking at what you've looked at so far? I mean, it's been crazy.
No, this has been absolutely crazy there for it. With it, I've never seen anything like this before. This number of them before.
Yes.
We'll say anything quite like this. We have a new warning coming out for a cell that's going to be over towards the east, I think. We'll have to see if it's in our area or not. But yeah, this is crazy. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, we have the report of one death, I think, so
Yes,
far.
one death in
Some
Bossier.
injuries.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's going to be damage that we haven't had reports on yet. That'll be coming in.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's no way we can get any type of actual real assessment on that at this point,
not until
right?
tomorrow.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff on the Weather Service goes out and does surveys of the damage and things for it. And so that's what we are looking at there. You're looking at the screen right now. I will take off the screen for you. These are the active warnings, 2 tornado warnings still in place. One for Claiborne Parish, the other one up there in Columbia County for 2 different storms that we are seeing right now for us. Other than that, we don't have anything else. Things are trying to die down some,
No.
which is obviously some good news
Yes.
there. But yeah, we thought, Jeff, that this storm, we weren't majorly concerned about the direct wind effects
Right.
from a tropical system coming in because we thought it wasn't going to be strong enough, and it wasn't. We thought it was going to lose its punch by the time it got here, and it did for us. So those are all things that happened. It's just the magnitude
Right.
of the number of tornado warnings that we saw. We started getting hints of that more so yesterday. It was just the magnitude.
When the tropical storm itself starts dying down and starts breaking up, what's left that spawns all these tornadoes? Why does that happen?
Well, I mean, it's a scenario that we call, on the east side of it, we call it the dirty side of it too. We've shown the other day, and I think I'm going to have in here too, this graphic here for folks there too with it. And the storms are divided up into quadrants, okay? And so as the quadrants move in, each quadrant things are do differently. It has to do a lot, first of all, with the wind pattern, the curvature of the earth. It's all kinds of different things
Yeah.
there with it that comes into play.
Wild.
And that was all in the right front quadrant of where it was that you're seeing there on. And then if you look there, that's where it shows sometimes the higher winds are, which we didn't really worry about that because we're so
Yeah.
far inland. But it's the flooding. That is where most of the heaviest rainfall fell. And it's also the tornadoes. When you get on the left side of the storm, it's not as dominant.
Yeah.
And so that's the
I mean,
difference.
this sounds goofy, but in that quadrant, it was the perfect storm.
It was.
To spawn all this stuff.
It was.
I like to describe it, think of the teacups, the teacup rides, the spinning teacups,
Yeah.
where the whole platform rotates, but then each individual cup also spins. It's related a lot to wind shear as we head up in the atmosphere. As the higher we go, wind shear varies, and that's very conducive for tornadic development. And so that's the easiest way for me to describe it is, think about it.
Yeah.
The storm Beryl itself is the platform, and then each little tornado would be a teacup spinning on its
Okay.
own. It has that little small ball energy and continues to rotate.
That's a pretty good way to describe it. Most people will be able to relate to that, I think. By the way, I want to mention, you guys have been doing a great job all afternoon. You've been on the air for what now, 6 hours or so?
No, it's almost 7.
Almost 7 hours.
Almost 7 hours. We went on the air. I got here shortly after noon. Brian was here. We had our first warnings issued. Got our first warnings issued then. And
Yeah, for people that don't do this, they have no inkling of how hard it is to be on the air for 7 straight hours. It's tough.
look, and I know also, and you know what, it comes with the job and stuff. We've got
Right.
we got a lot of thank yous today, and probably about 95% great thank yous. We
Good.
got about 5% not so
Get
much.
off
So
the air. We want our program.
look,
right?
we get it.
You're always gonna get that.
Trust me, we get it. But at the same time, today is different. It's different because it's not the same storm over and over again.
Right.
This is 60+ tornado warnings today. This is lots of damage today. This is people having to pick up pieces today. And unfortunately, we have at least 1 death
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
today.
yeah.
And so, we're doing what we're doing, and we've been doing it all day long. Not all day long, but for the past nearly 7 hours.
It's almost all day.
Yeah, nearly 7 hours with it. I mean, as soon as I walked in the door, literally as soon as I walked in the door, it was like tornado warning. It's like right when I walked in the
Yeah.
door, tornado warnings were issued, and it's been going on nonstop from there.
And you might have even, if you've been watching this whole time, there were times where we even got confused with how many warnings there
Yeah.
are. I'm not sure what the max was at one point on the radar. I think I saw some numbers say there might have been 11 warnings,
That's
tornado
just nuts.
warnings
At any
one
given
point.
one time?
Yeah.
Yes, the
Yeah.
fact that there's only 2 in our area right now is
Yeah,
low.
that's really-
a very low number for
Yeah.
us. It's usually been closer to 5.
So we've had crews out, some of the hardest hit areas, and I'll leave somebody out, but we had hard hit areas from Benton, Louisiana, Elm Grove, up into southwest Arkansas. We had other batches over near Bethany, Louisiana, over into East Texas area, and then as well some storms that could all be related to each other there in Mansfield and DeSoto Parish.